Hey everybody, how's it going? I want to equate parental estrangement to abuse, plain and simple, and I'll explain why. If any one of us can connect with this or say, oh, that really makes sense, I'm going to explain how I feel our sons and daughters go about it in order to guilt and shame us from talking about it, or where we feel we have to crawl in a hole, because it's got to be one of the most embarrassing situations in the whole world. I wrote this down and I hope it makes sense and we can dive into it. Abusers like to alienate their victims from friends and family. That's what our sons and daughters are doing. They put us in a state of guilt and shame to the point where we actually start withdrawing from other people, friends, family, society in general. Because we know either we'll be blamed or they'll look at us differently, or worse yet, align with our sons and daughters and then join their team and start conspiring against us. And there is no difference when it comes to abuse. And I'll tell you how I know this is because initially when my daughter left, I was in a state of shock. I thought, oh, what the heck? I can't talk about this. How embarrassing, because everyone else has a relationship with their son or daughter. They're at the weddings and they're at the first birthdays or at the hospital when there's children give birth, and here I am and I'm not invited to anything. And I thought, our sons and daughters want us to stay silent. They really truly believe that we deserve everything that's happening. I mean, if you look up abuse when it comes to our sons and daughters, or being in an abusive situation, I looked up isolation, and it says one way an abuser can gain control is by cutting you off from the people who care about you. And that's kind of what happens when we start to withdraw. Over time, this can make you feel like your son or daughter is the only person you can turn to, because we're going to beg them, please stop doing this, please come back, and it's so embarrassing, and I feel so guilty, and I'm so ashamed that I'm going through this. We end up withdrawing, crawling into a shell, and then it's really hard to face people because we know people are going to ask us, how are your kids doing? What's going on? And they'll say, my daughter's in college and my son just got married. And they'll say, well, what about you? And you sit there wondering, well, how am I going to be able to say anything? Because I certainly, because although I know these people, they were never in my house. So chances are, when my kids walk away, they're going to say, I must have done something to create a disconnect between myself and my children and or my grandchildren. I must have been some kind of terrible person for this to have happened to me. So what our sons and daughters are doing is no short of abuse. And why would we stick around and hang out with someone that didn't like us? I don't know. I mean, I'm just wondering. So anyway, sorry about that. My hair is out of control. But anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. I hope this helps someone else. It's just what came to mind today. And take it or leave it. Do what you want with it. But don't put up with that anymore. So anyways, that's all I've got. And I will be back.